Hey, I'm Dr. Jen Landa, OBGYN and hormone specialist, and welcome to video 2, the 5 hidden energy robbers that are causing you to crash. Thanks so much for all of your feedback and comments on video 1. It helps me so much to know what you need to know more of, because that's really what it's all about. I'm dedicated to helping you get your energy back. Energy is the most important thing that you need more of right now to be, do, and achieve everything you want to do in your life. To be a better mom, to be a better partner or wife, to be a better employee, just to be a better person. Whatever your goal is, whether it's to get a promotion, lose weight, connect better with your family, whatever it is, you need energy to do it. And if you don't do something about your energy right now, you're going to stay stuck in the rut you're in. Nothing will change, and that wouldn't be right. You deserve more than that for yourself. And it's easier than you think it's going to be. So why are you exhausted? You know, it's no surprise to you, I'm sure, that we have an exhaustion epidemic, especially for women, right? We're being asked to do more than ever before. More women are primary breadwinners, and we still do more than our fair share at home, right? I don't know about you, but I think that that's true for a lot of women out there. And it's a big part of the reason that we are exhausted. Yeah, so a big part of the reason that you're exhausted is because you have a lot to do. You have a lot of stress. You have a lot on your plate. But there's more than that. There are hidden energy robbers that are stealing your spark. They're happening all the time, and you don't even know about it. That's why I want to share with you now the 5 hidden energy robbers that are stealing your spark. These are the 5 most common things that I see over and over again in my practice that are just sneaking under the radar. Your body, you have stress, right? And stress is part of the reason that you're tired, but there's also physical stress. There's stresses that your body is under that you don't even realize are happening all day long every day. And that's where crashing comes in. CRASH is an acronym. CRASH is an acronym for the 5 hidden energy robbers. So CRASH stands for, the C is for cortisol overload and depletion. The R is for reactions, which are food reactions. The A is for adrenal toxins. The S is for the sugar roller coaster. And the H is for hormones. So first, the C in CRASH. The C is for cortisol overload and depletion. You may have already heard me talk a little bit about cortisol, because cortisol is so important to the whole energy cycle. Cortisol is your stress hormone. Cortisol is produced by small glands called adrenals that sit on top of your kidneys. And cortisol basically helps you handle stress. Cortisol is the reason that you can handle stress. And if you can't handle stress, odds are you probably don't make enough cortisol. So in video 1, you found out what your energy state is, whether you're burning steady or if you're burning up, burning low, or burning out. So you know a little bit about cortisol. So if you're burning up, that means that you're making too much cortisol. You're burning high, you're burning up all the time, you're stressed and wired, making lots of cortisol. Well, the good news is that your body's making lots of cortisol to keep up with stress, but odds are you're making too much. And too much cortisol isn't good. Too much cortisol can make you feel irritable, have trouble resting, have trouble sleeping, have poor focus, poor memory, crave sugar, gain weight, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, all kinds of negative things. And as I said in the last video, that's too much cortisol, but you also don't want to have too little. Cortisol is like a Goldilocks hormone, I call it. You don't want to have too much, and you don't want to have too little. Because when you don't have enough cortisol to keep up with what you need, then you get into the burning low and burning out states. And when you don't have enough cortisol, you don't have your gut up and go. Cortisol goes up in the morning to help us wake up, and then it goes down as we go throughout the day to help us go to sleep at night. And it spikes at various times throughout the day when we have stress. So when your boss comes to you with a deadline, or when your kid comes to you with an assignment that they forgot to do and you need to get it done, or you're trying to get out the door in time in the morning, those times are when your cortisol spikes. It's when you need cortisol. And if you don't have enough, well, those little stresses of the day become huge stresses, and they become huge energy sucks. They become huge energy drains. And that's why stress makes you exhausted. But there are other things that are taking its toll on stress that you don't even know about. So let's get into some of those. The R in crash is for reactions. Those are food reactions or food sensitivities. Now, you might say to yourself, you don't have an allergy, a food allergy, and you know what a food allergy is, right? Your lips swell up when you eat strawberries, or you can't breathe when you eat peanuts or something like that. Those are allergies, and allergies are things that happen right away. But a food sensitivity may take a few days to have an effect. You may not see the effect of a food sensitivity for about 3 days. And the effects of food sensitivities can affect you all over the body. Anything from skin rashes to joint pain, even acne can be a food sensitivity. And another food sensitivity sign can be loss of energy. So you can be losing your energy because of the foods you're eating. And odds are you're eating the same foods over and over, so you don't even know that it's happening. So what happens when you eat a food you're sensitive to is there's inflammation. It causes microscopic inflammation in your gut, in your intestines. And the thing that fights inflammation is cortisol. So think of inflammation like a fire, and cortisol is like the fire hydrant or the fire hose that comes along to douse the fire. Well, when you're burning up, this inflammation will cause your body just to make lots and lots of cortisol to try to put out the fire. Your body will overreact. And there's even an issue called cortisol resistance that might be in there, and that's a whole other story. But when you get to the points when you're burning low and burning out, you don't have enough water to throw on the fire. So your body's constantly trying to make enough cortisol to keep up with the inflammation, but it can't do it. And that's when your energy suffers in a big bad way. So adrenal toxins. Unfortunately, adrenal toxins are the most likely thing that you're using to try to get over your energy crisis. Sugar and caffeine. Those are the most common things that people who have bad energy, who have poor energy, who are exhausted, are using to get throughout the day. But you notice it doesn't work, or at least it doesn't work for very long. You may get a temporary spike in energy, which is because sugar and alcohol and caffeine, sugar and caffeine in particular, will cause a spike in cortisol. But what caffeine, sugar, and alcohol do is they can damage the adrenals in the long run. So I threw alcohol in there. So this is what I commonly see, and even, believe me, sometimes fall victim to myself. You don't get enough sleep for whatever reason, you change time zones or whatever, so you're tired in the morning. So you have a cup of coffee to try to keep your energy going. And then of course later in the day, you're feeling like you need another cup of coffee, and then you start craving sugar, and you happen to walk by the donut table or something, so you grab a little sugar snack, and it kind of gives you a little energy boost, and you keep going. And then what happens? Well, you've had all this caffeine, and if you're a slow caffeine metabolizer like me, you might still feel a little wired in the evening, and then you want a cocktail to try to relax, a glass of wine, and then maybe one glass of wine even becomes two because you know you need to get to sleep that night, and especially if you're off of your time zone thing and you're all messed up that way. So then you wind up having 2 glasses of wine, and in my case, unfortunately, that'll cause me to wake up with a headache and wake up really tired. And what happens? I start all over again. I start with the coffee, later on the sugar, etc., on and on and on. Well, what that does is it damages your adrenals. So pretty quickly for me, when I start that bad habit, I'll get into that burning up state. And if I don't watch it, I'll get into the burning low state. And that's what might be happening with you. And it doesn't even take very long to get into these different states. So getting back on your program. Once you learn the 5 steps of endless energy, you're going to have a program to always fall back on so that you can get yourself back on track anytime, just like I can. So you got to stay away from sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. And I'm not saying you have to eliminate it completely, but you need to know your limits. And that's what I talk a lot about during the Endless Energy program. So the Essen crash. This is one of the most important hidden energy robbers that I see. The sugar roller coaster. So the sugar roller coaster refers to when you eat a meal, especially if it's got a lot of sugar or a lot of carbs, it'll cause your blood sugar to go up, and what goes up must come down. And the faster it goes up, the faster it comes down. When your blood sugar crashes, your body sees that as an emergency, and it will want to release cortisol. It will want to make cortisol. So if you're burning up, it's going to cause you to get irritable, to get cranky, to get stressed out and be unable to relax. It can keep you from sleeping at night. But if you're burning low or burning out, shortly after that sugary or high carb meal, you're going to be exhausted. And that's because your body is demanding cortisol that you can't make. Your body doesn't have a supply to keep up with your demand, and that's why you're tired. Because you are wasting what precious little cortisol you have for energy, you're wasting it on controlling your blood sugar. Because cortisol helps bring your blood sugar back up when you have low blood sugar. So if you feel like you get low blood sugar and you need to eat really frequently, then you've already, without even knowing it, realized that you're on the sugar roller coaster, but you may not have realized how to get yourself off. That's a big part of the 3 weeks to Endless Energy program. I teach you how to eat to get off the sugar roller coaster. One of the most important things you need to know for now is that you need to eat something in the morning. If you're going without something to eat in the morning, you are making the biggest mistake that you could possibly be making for your energy. And I'll tell you more in your next video. Finally, hormones. This is super important. So I've talked about cortisol, which is a hormone. But cortisol is greedy. Your body will make cortisol at the expense of every other hormone. All your hormones come from the same place. They're made from the same thing. And so if you are busy, if your body's busy making cortisol, you might not be able to make other hormones that you need, especially progesterone and testosterone. I see this all the time in my practice. So what happens to you when you can't make progesterone and testosterone? You compound the whole problem. Progesterone is what you need to help you stop feeling so overwhelmed. Progesterone helps you sleep at night. Progesterone is your calming hormone. It helps you feel calmer. Even if you have a to-do list a mile long, if you have a good progesterone level, you don't feel as stressed out about it, which is pretty good. Progesterone also helps you keep from sugar cravings. Progesterone helps you lose that water weight. Progesterone helps you sleep really soundly. Who doesn't need more progesterone? And when your body's busy making tons of cortisol, or when your body can't even make up enough cortisol to keep up with your demand, you're not making progesterone either. And then testosterone. Testosterone is an amazing hormone, and whether you're a woman or a man, you need testosterone. Testosterone helps give you energy, most importantly, but it helps keep you in a good mood. It helps you stay not irritable. For women, testosterone acts like your emotional shield. So it keeps you from, like, if you feel like you've been weepy lately, it might be low testosterone. But testosterone also is going to help you burn fat. It's going to help you build muscle. It's going to help you look and feel great. And who doesn't want more of that? But when your body's busy making too much cortisol if you're burning up, or can't make enough cortisol if you're burning low or burning out, then it can't make enough testosterone either. And so that's the 5 hidden energy robbers of crash. The C for cortisol overload and depletion, the R for reactions, which are food reactions, the A for adrenal toxins, the sugar, alcohol, and caffeine, S for the very important sugar roller coaster, and the final H for hormones. Those are the 5 biggest hidden physical stressors that I find rob you of your stress hormone, your stress hormone that you need to deal with stress. And when you've got these 5 hidden energy robbers stealing your spark, stealing your cortisol, it makes it harder to just deal with life in general, and all the life stresses, all the stresses that your life throws at you. You can control the 5 hidden energy robbers. And I'm telling you, it's easier than you think. I created my 3 Weeks to Endless Energy program to help you overcome the 5 hidden energy robbers. The program is 5 simple steps to help you get your energy back. But now what I want you to do is I want you to click below so that you can get my crash video, which is a 40-minute video which gives you lots more information on crash than what I've simply gone over here. So you're going to learn even more about the 5 hidden energy robbers, and I've also included the transcript in a PDF form in case you like to read your information rather than having a video. When you learn to avoid the 5 hidden energy robbers, you will have the energy you need to get through your day, to feel joy again, to feel like yourself again. You're going to be able to focus and concentrate. You're going to be in a happier mood. You're going to be able to finally lose weight. You're going to be able to take better care of yourself, like get back to exercise and eating healthy food. You're going to be able to take better care of your family and loved ones, and you're going to be able to connect better with them because you're going to be happier and more relaxed. You'll be able to stop living at 50% capacity. And that's what you deserve. Listen, if you've got questions or comments, I want to hear from you on Facebook. I want to know what you're thinking. Remember to download the video and the PDF and watch your inbox for video number 3, which is going to be the 5 steps of the Endless Energy Plan. For now, wishing you the best of great health, great happiness, and of course, amazing energy.